trained for a couple of months, and then they said, "Oh, yeah, my first fight is coming up." So I was a little excited about that. But I was fighting a kid who was a year or two older than me, and a little bit taller, heavier. Couldn't find anybody really my size to actually fight. So I moved up in weight and fought an older kid that had some experience in the ring. And being my first fight, you know, I was told to keep my hands up pretty high and kind of look pretty in there. So while I was in that fight, I was doing what I was told to do, and then the guy hit me pretty hard. Being a bigger boy than I was, hit me pretty hard, and that was about all that not that I remember, but I just got instantly upset. And then, so I started to hit him real hard. Nobody had ever seen a 100-pound boxer. Usually an amateur fight is 3 rounds. It goes 3 rounds, somebody wins, somebody loses. In my fight, well, I jumped on the kid and I hit him so hard and boom, he went down. And nobody had ever seen that, and I was really concerned. I went over to pick him up, to pull him back up, and the referee pushed me away, so I went to my neutral corner, and they called the fight off. So I won by a technical knockout, and then I heard the fans cheering. And you know, I never wanted to hurt anybody, but I guess that's what it took to be successful at boxing. So, but the roar of the crowd got me, and right from that day I was hooked because people were cheering for me. Leading up to becoming the world champion as a pro, I went through a lot of adversity, a couple losses, operations on my hands, and a lot of negativity, even from my doctors who thought I should pull the plug and maybe find something else to do. You know, and I just never gave up on my dream, and the doctors would have to sign my fit to fight form for my fights, and the doctors didn't even want to sign it anymore, and I said, "Please just sign it for me." So they would sign it, let me fight, and then I finally got a chance to fight for the world championship, and I won. So even after they were telling me to retire, I won that title, and then defending it over the course of nearly 5 years, and never lost the championship. So that, I think those were, you know, the time of overcoming what people thought. You know, people were setting limits on what I thought I could accomplish, and I proved them wrong. And I think you know, I followed my dreams as best as I could, and I'm glad I didn't stop when people told me to. For me, it was like an Oscar. It was like getting a Grammy Award, because there are, you know, there's quite a bit of, there are things that a selected committee is basing their judgment on whether or not you can be in it or not. You know, it's a select group of athletes, builders, other people, and to have your name entered in as a possibility to get in to the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame, to then actually being accepted, that acceptance has been such an honor for me.